I guess I missed this part in my personal training certification. Make sure to show people how to pull up their leggings before working out. It's the lengths these trainers go through of setting up their camera and tripod, pressing record, then making sure they're all centered in frame. Turning around, then picking up their leggings, essentially giving themselves a wedgie or purposefully jiggling their glutes to flex or show off their body. And it doesn't stop there.
Someone said, "Oh yeah, girl, you really got him with that one. How will they ever recover?"
What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another video, and today we are reacting to Aberrant Preach. The video is "This Isn't Fitness, It's Sex." She calls out industry and gets a lot of backlash. So I'm assuming this has to do with the way women be dressing in the gym. I don't know. We're about to find out. But with that being said, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you can join the Prosper gang. It's a lot of prosperity going on around this mug. So be part of the team, be part of the support system. And if you do, my gratitude says thank you all the way across the screen. With that being said, let's get into the video.
Who has some things to say about fitness. She's a coach. She's a personal trainer.
Fitness?
Yeah.
Fitness.
No, I know exactly where you're going. Fitness dick in your mouth.
Hey, I didn't say that. Wow.
I knew. All right, with that in mind.
I was about to say pizza.
I guess I missed this part in my personal training certification. Make sure to show people how to pull up their leggings before working out.
So she posted this short video as a personal trainer, and she has highlights of women constantly doing that, and the women were just lambasting her. If jealousy was a video, it would be this one. Someone says, "Did they pick you?" And these are very popular fit influencers. And someone says, "I rarely ever post comments, but I feel you're compelled to say this. I understand your mission is wanting to shift the industry and address over-sexualization. I'm aligned with this too, but tearing down other women just to prove a point doesn't inspire change. It does the opposite."
Yeah, okay, tearing down. And see, this is the problem with some women when it comes to accountability, right? And I know everybody can lack accountability in some sort. There's not a particular gender thing. But to address somebody, you're not, to call somebody out for what they're doing is not tearing nobody down. I don't know what that is that women get. I got a homegirl that we'll be talking about situations and she'll be like, "Oh, well, I hate to tear down another woman." So calling her out, or not calling her out, but holding her accountable for what she does means that you're tearing her down. It's the perception of what people look at. It's a perception of how people see accountability. Accountability should not be, "I'm tearing you down because I'm holding you accountable." Now, how you hold them accountable can be a form of tearing them down. If you call them out their name, belittling them, then in that case you could call them, you could say, okay, they tearing you down. But to hold somebody accountable, to say, "Hey, this is what you're doing, and this is what you're doing it for," because she's a woman, so she knows why they're doing it, means I'm tearing you down. But that's just a lack of accountability. But I do want to get into the whole aspect of why I think women do these type of things. A lot of times it's to compete with other women, right? And of course it's to get the men bots, because that's how they look at you. Men bots to flood their social media pages with likes and validation and stuff like that, because that's how they look at you. You're just a bot to them. So stop doing that. But to each his own, right? But we're about to get into the video, into the rest of the video. But that's just something I want to point out.
Down is a strong word. She said one little thing, and y'all
said be lit, tear them down. It's crazy.
Talking about tearing down.
Someone said, "Oh yeah, girl, you really got him with that one. How will they ever recover?" As a certified personal trainer, I absolutely love it when other women look hot as fuck, dress however they confident, and I have zero desire to shame them for adjusting their clothing. I don't know why that's funny. So here's another woman who's different critic. She, I'm gonna cut the music out. Oh, see. Yeah, so the caption says, "Crazy what happens when you actually dress demure and don't show your ass on Instagram." Okay, and then let's keep watching.
Fucking word.
her audience is 96% women, 3% men. And then we go to the last reel where she kind of talks a little bit more.
I guess I missed this part in my personal training certification. Make sure.
And you know what's crazy? I might be reaching. I don't think I am though. You know what's crazy? That women, like the woman that said, I like when women look hot as right, and looking good with their bodies, right? But understand, and granted, like think about this. This is, and I know people hate these words because these are like trigger words, but these are patriarchal standards of hotness, right? They say they don't do this for men, but the way you shape your body is the way men typically like. So it's like, so you're not doing it for men, but you are. Because if you're not doing it for men, you don't have to dress like that. You know what I mean? Like, like for instance, when I go into the gym and I'm lifting my weights and right? Women like a certain physique in a man. And typically us men, when we lift our weights, we strive for that physique, right? We strive to look like that because that is what the opposite sex finds attractive. If I didn't give a F about what the opposite sex finds attractive, I would do what I want to do regardless of how the opposite sex finds attractive. But we tend to work out certain aspects of us because we want, not everybody, but the majority, especially the ones that's lifting their pants. Like, you know what you're doing. So you say you don't do it for men, but you make yourself hot in the way that men like. And women also find that hotness the same because it comes from a traditional patriarchal standard, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm reaching, but that's just something to think about.
To show people how to pull up their leggings before working out. So that was my video that went viral. And there were hundreds of comments saying, but it's normal to pull up your leggings, and this is a normal habit. Now, I won't argue with you that it's a normal habit to
It's the camera angle. Why are you doing it in that camera angle?
Pull up your leggings. But it's not normal to film yourself doing that and then post it online. This is not just a habit that just so happened to be caught on camera. It is done so intentionally. It's the lengths these trainers go through of setting up their camera and tripod, pressing record, then making sure they're all centered in frame, turning around, then picking up their leggings, essentially giving themselves a wedgie or purposefully jiggling their glutes to flex or show off their body. And it doesn't stop there. After they're done filming and working out at the gym, they go to edit their educational and inspirational workout video. They purposely clip this moment of pulling up their leggings, sometimes even zoom in and put it at the beginning of their video as a hook to get you to watch. Sometimes
it is a hook. It is a hook. And what it is that they don't want to acknowledge that it's a hook. They try to be like, oh, I saw a video on Threads, and the lady was like, I get tired of women like showing off. Like, the lady worked at Lowe's and she was like super thick. And she was like, I'm tired of women pretending like they're just doing something, but the whole time they just want you to look at their ass and their body. Like, it's like it's a hook. And get me wrong, get it how you live. Like, if that's how you, but get it how you live, right? If that's how you go hook, everybody got a hook. Sometimes with our thumbnails, we kind of clickbait to get hooks, right? Get it how you live. The problem is, admit it when it's real. Like, she's calling you out for it. Just admit it. Just be like, yep, that's what I'm doing it for, and I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, we're gonna leave you alone. At least you just being authentic. The problem is that social media hasn't caught up with the sexualized clickbait, because that's what it is. It's sexualized clickbait or sexualized hooks. They haven't caught up to it. So what's happening is they're plastering this on the platforms where kids can get access to, right? And that's slowly, think about it, you're a 13-year-old boy going through puberty, and you seeing all these hot girls pulling up their pants and jiggling their glutes, and you just watching the videos just because the cakes is jiggling, not because you really want to see them work out, because it's just blasted in front of your face. So that's really the main concern, at least in my opinion, is that it's getting blasted and like you're selling sex For the most part, that's really what you're doing. And young boys are getting hooked into this early. Like when I was 13, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was playing with wrestling toys outside with my homies. Like that's what we was doing. It wasn't like you couldn't have access to this type of content. Now you can get access to hot girls at 13, and like if you're a 13-year-old boy, you're not gonna say, okay, enough is enough, I need to go outside. No, you're just gonna indulge in the content that keeps you on that. Like if nobody tells you to stop, you won't. You're a 13-year-old boy. Why would you stop? And that's the point. Like, as a grown man, we can say, okay, we need to stop doing this. And as a parent, you should be trying to monitor what your kid's watching. But let's be real. In this economy where you got to work 2-3 jobs, you know me, I'm a videographer, I'm a YouTuber, I got a full-time job. You busy. That's why I ain't got no kids, because I don't got time for it. I got dogs, right? So trying to maintain what your kids watching when you're trying to keep a roof over your head ain't really the easiest thing to do. Not making an excuse for it, but I'm just keeping it real. So a 13-year-old boy is going to watch what a 13-year-old boy is going to watch. And you got to learn how to maintain that. This is a new era we in. The generation before us didn't have to worry about this. My mama didn't have to worry about my son at 13 watching women jiggle their booty all on social media, because that wasn't around when I was coming up. But this generation of parents have to worry about that. So this is something to think about. So, and that's why it's like we got to be responsible on how we doing this. But people don't care, because everybody trying to get some money in this economy, and people will do it at whatever stake. So that's just what it is, unfortunately.
It takes a whole 5 seconds of pulling up leggings before we even get to see a single part of the workout. What we don't see is them picking up their dumbbells, getting into position, or all of their reps. You know, the unnecessary stuff. Don't make excuses for these girls. These are professional content creators. If they know how to delete a clip of the other unnecessary stuff, they know how to delete a clip of them pulling up their leggings. This is intentionally filmed and edited. At the end of the day, this is inappropriate. Instagram trainers, be honest. You're either doing this to tap into your followers' insecurities, or you're doing it for your own likes to get your comment section full of heart eye emojis, fire emojis, and hashtag body goals. It doesn't add value to anyone but you.
Congratulations, you cracked the code. I think all those things that you named can be possible.
And what's crazy is she ain't cracked the code. Everybody knew this. The problem is nobody wants to speak on it because you don't want to deal with the backlash. And it's not like, hey, man, like you say, I'm all about get it how you live. You see streamers like the Shay Frost and all them, and shout out to them, I ain't gonna beef with nobody, you know what I mean? Everybody do their thing. Get it how you live. But they know what they do and they stand on it. Like, if you gonna do this, stop trying to make it look innocent. Say it what it is, and then nobody got a problem with it. You know what I mean? Well, I ain't gonna have a problem. Well, I can say it still got its issues, but I mean, if you gonna stand on it, I'm all about, hey, stand on it 10 toes down, and nigga, can't nobody really tell you nothing. I mean, they can tell you something, but you just don't gotta give a fuck. But the problem is they want to act innocent, like they not doing something, but you are. Like, stop trying to like have your cake and eat it too, pun intended.
And you can still try to educate people. You try. I think these people are trying to educate people into fitness and also getting a little thirst trappy. Yeah, 100%. And you're right, they're doing that. It's a trap. The media is oversaturated and stuff. Yeah, some people do that, 100%. It's their version of, for example, doing a clickbait or having a mistake in the title of their video and not changing it and having more comments and creating more engagement. It's a trick that they use to get more people, 100%. I don't think what she was saying was that outrageous that you have to flame her or she's like jealous or anything like that. I think she's pointing out a tactic that she dislikes.
A marketing tactic?
A marketing tactic that she dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's like, oh, I'm putting down other women. No, it's not because you mention something that you're putting down the people. It's not because you mention something that you don't like or you feel weird about it that you want to put down people or you're a hater. Oh my God, that word, hater. Shit, you use that shit like it's ranch in the States. You put that shit on everything. It's like, it's a hater. No, some things you do some hateable stuff. Some things, sometimes, it's some weird stuff. I don't think she was that much out of pocket in her commentary. She don't like women. No, sometimes it's not because you point out some dumb shit that some people do that you hate them. It happens from time to time that this dude's like, yo,
It's really not that complicated, bro. People are not dumb. I'm gonna tell you, people aren't stupid, and that's the problem with cancel culture. Cancel culture knows how to. Cancel culture is really about clipping, stealing your emotion and creating a avalanche based off your emotion. That's all it really is. People know that women don't hate women, and people know what she's saying makes sense. What it is they have an emotional response to it that they know they can't have a logical response to because she's right. So what they do is they'll say shit like you hate women to get other people to like that also have emotional response to find something to cling on to, knowing all of them knowing that that's bullshit. But they say it because it's just the easiest way for it to garner up an avalanche of people that has an emotional response to what she said, and then pound on her. That's no Diddy. That sounded crazy, but you get what I'm saying. So and it's unfortunately like people take it's sad that people will take service level responses and jump on that because they all dislike one person, thinking that people are dumb enough to believe that. Like, all y'all know that's full of bullshit. All of y'all do, but people are not stupid. They're not. Women are like the best detectives, and you telling me that you falling for something that obvious? No, you're not. You just want to play blindside to it because you want to keep doing what you want to do. The problem is you don't have to be blindsided to something to keep doing what you want to do. You can admit it and still do it. Just stand 10 toes on it. They just don't want to.
do that shit. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, cool. I won't do it. He doesn't hate me. Means, yo, let's do better. That's it. I don't think she flamed that person. She flamed those people that bad. They said, yeah, that's intentional and that's for marketing, which I don't think is totally wrong.
I think watching her video, I think she's essentially saying they're going to unnecessary lengths to showcase their ass in a way to over-sexualize themselves for what she perceives as bad feedback. I think one of the first things she said is it's inspirational, right? She put that in quotations to say like, no, these girls are just showing ass. It's not actually inspirational. She's basically saying this is kind of like bad behavior. I'm not the person who really browses Instagram like crazy. So for me, like seeing these kinds of clips, like, yes, do I think these women are purposefully doing this? Obviously. Do I think it's bad though? You know, like when I watch a dude get in the gym and he's about to start flexing to be able to get in front of the exercise before he goes to do it, it's like, do I think that's bad? Before he starts flexing, before he starts to lift the weights? I don't know. I think this is more of a consumer problem than it is like a content creator problem. Because at the end of the day, the truth is consumers just go to whoever looks the best, not who's ever the most knowledgeable.
And though I agree with Abba on that, because that is a consumer problem, the problem is you can't change a world of people on how they consume. So like companies, right? Let's just use social media. Social media, the reason why TikTok works so well because they know how your brain works. So they know how to feed content that gets you hooked and keeps you on the app. People as a whole can't change fast enough to stop TikTok from growing. That's not even human. I don't even know if that's a word. Realistically possible. It's just not. Like, people as a whole can't change fast enough for that to happen. So that, though it is a consumer problem, consumers are the way consumers are because we just live basic lives. So our basic lives and the basic things we go through have us reacting like we just, how you say, not programmed. We're not programmed, but our life follows, certain traditional ways that get us hooked on these things that it just subconsciously out of our control. Not saying that it can remain that, because once you're aware of it, you can change it. But the problem is like telling a mass group of people to, stop consuming that, or you shouldn't consume that. It's not realistic. So it has to be changed. Same way he talked about with the cell phones. Because going back to an older video that Albert was talking about how cell phones just didn't even get banned out of school. Because he knows that kids as a whole cannot just stay off their phones. Like, you can't say, it's the students' problem, they need to just stop using phones. That's not realistic. You give people access to escapes, they're gonna go to those escapes. It's just human psychology. So what you have to do is you have to remove The people that have the power just have to remove that as a whole, so people can stop. It blocks their access to their escape. Same thing with the fitness thing. The fitness influencers have to change that trend as a whole, so it blocks those people's access to it. So I mean, that's just how I feel. So I mean, granted, I think I get where he was about to go, but I think it's just not realistically possible for a group of people to change their behavior on how they consume things as a mass. That's just not even possible. Not in that short amount of time span. That's like a 5, 6, 7 year transition. That's not something that happens within a few months. That's just not happening. It's not. And cancel culture itself can't change that.
So, man, you can get upset about it, but the reality is women are always going to gravitate towards who's got the body goals. Same way men are going to gravitate towards the guy who has the physique they want. They will pay this dude, no training, no nothing, but he looks good. Doesn't matter if it's genetics, doesn't matter if he's taking all this gear, doesn't matter what it is. If he's got the body, a lot of dudes are going to pay him. And you see all kinds of scammers like this. Essentially dudes who know how to work out for themselves, but don't know how to actually give that to anyone else. Don't know how to make a training program, whether that works or not. Doesn't know how to actually train people. Unfortunately, people go towards that. So am I going to blame the content creators for feeding into that feedback loop that the consumer wants? And do I even think it's necessarily bad to have a hook that's semi-click? I don't even think it's clickbait. It's just like, I got this. Actually, some of them pay.
No, it's clickbait, bro. But like I say, just stand on it. Like if you gonna do it, just stand on it. We're not doing that. You're just hating like that. No, stand on it. Like I said, we as YouTubers do that. Like we have clickbaity stuff like thumbnails and titles. Just stand on it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Some of them pants is very clickbait.
It is. On top of that, there's a cover that they're going to put on the thing.
Right.
So, yeah, you want to attract. It's a hook. It's okay.
Absolutely. But you just have to ask yourself. It's like, yeah, you're showing your ass on the thumbnail and you're basically starting with your ass, but it's because that's what people want to see. It's like the egg and the chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's worse things on top of that.
What do you mean?
There's worse thing out there than just the pulling out in pants. I understand what she's doing. I'm defending. I'm just in the middle. I'm like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And also, like, man, whatever. It's just that there's worse things in the fitness world. I hate when people do BBLs, lips, fillers, filters, and then claim that it's their program that gave her that. That I have much more problem than pulling the pants. That is really just a scam. There's a difference between a hook and a scam. That's a hook. I call it a hook. They're doing the work and they're trying to hook you up. They try to hook you. The scam part of it is that they have all this BBL, all this liposuction, all this reshaping done, and they say, "Oh no, it's because I do squats." No, bitch, it's because you went under the knife.
True.
That I have more problem than the pulling off the pants. But
yeah, I the last statement she made that I thought was worth looking at is like, it's inappropriate. And I'm like, by whose standard? You know, at the end of the day, like, maybe you come from like a Judeo-Christian background, and for you, like, these kinds of things are not becoming maybe it's not even that, I don't know, but it's like,
it kind of goes back to the comment I made earlier when I was like, social media hasn't caught up to these type of hooks. And I'm not saying that like you can't do that, like, do what you do. I mean, like I said, just stand on it, right? But social media hasn't. So young people are watching it, and they're not watching it to watch fitness. We have a gooner problem in this society right now, and young boys are about to be gooning it up for the next damn near decade. And this is an easy access. I'm just saying, like, you think they watching it for fitness. Yeah, the most of the views come from boys that play Minecraft. No dig to niggas that play Minecraft and shit. And chilling on the couch. They ain't even thinking about no gym. They thinking about them glutes right there. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just saying, hey. And then what makes it even worse, if they do it, I mean, they probably don't. But some of the ones that do that, and then like the fake OnlyFans, like the OnlyFans models that use that same thing. They're not even fitness influencers, but they go to the gym to create traffic towards their OnlyFans. Like, it's like, it's a to each his own, man. But like, hey, it's not. I know he's saying like to whose standards, right? But it's like when you have OnlyFans models thinking like, oh, I could go over to the pretend to be a fitness influencer to drive in traffic to my OnlyFans. If you got OnlyFans models lining up in your profession because that's a gateway for them, question what you doing. I'm just saying.
Be out here in fucking booty shorts all day showing their body, like it is what it is. Is that inappropriate? You might say it's not becoming, maybe not for someone you date, but like outside of that, I don't care. Like, a fitness influencer, I don't know. Here's the thing. If I'm seeing women do this all the time, then I'm seeing dudes in tank tops or shirtless everywhere. Like, what are we talking about? The fitness industry, everybody's showing their body as much as they can.
Why?
Because it sells.
Because that's what you're trying to. That's the product.
And that's what people want to see.
Because that's the
that is true too.
Product.
Right.
If I'm trying to sell something, I'm trying to sell you apples. You don't see the apples. You're not gonna buy blind apples.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to see the products.
Yeah.
Same thing with the body. That's the thing. You do something about squats. I might want to see your butt.
Absolutely. Again, it comes back to the point I say the consumer to me is the bigger thing because, again, that's what they want. That's what they gravitate towards. I've noticed that with fitness since the jump. Whoever's the nicest looking is the one who's getting all the sales. It just doesn't matter. Beyond that. And, inappropriate, super subjective. So do I agree with her video? No. Do I agree with the other video that said, if you dress more demure or less scantily clad, will you attract more females? I agree. That's probably true. Because I definitely see some women, they post their pictures, oh, I'm a fitness coach. I look at the comments, it's just dudes being like, ass. It's just like, all right. What's like, Sean? Yeah. What's the song? You just went, I don't know what the hell you were saying.
Go stupid. Go stupid.
Okay.
Wobbly, wobbly, wobble,
all right.
wobble,
Okay.
wobble.
I was like,
all right. So we're going to go ahead and end the video right here. They got about 3 minutes left. Y'all gotta go check that out. Abby and Preach, what it is. But yeah, that being said, good video, good discussion. Hey, do your thing. The takeaway is if you gonna be on some clickbait, do what you gonna do, stand on it. That's all I'm saying. Don't be on no like, oh no, I'm not. No, stand on that shit, nigga. Fuck. Anyway, with that being said, hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper gang because there's a lot of prosperity going around this mug. And remember, nothing is impossible to they who try. Till next time, I'm out.